It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce!
And also we have Murray, who's wearing a shirt that's got a tie on it, but he's not wearing a tie, and I'm very confused.
That's right, guy.
Because I'm blue shirt guy.
Blue shirt guy. What's blue shirt guy?
Blue shirt guy. Thank you, Jim Evans.
You're welcome.
Blue shirt guy. I don't know what that means. So with the introductions out of the way.
Ryan Reynolds.
Who's
Guy.
Ryan Reynolds?
He was Guy from the movie.
Oh, that Free Guy movie.
Yeah. That's Murray.
I've been trying to forget that movie ever
He's the
since I
guy.
saw it.
Well, that's your problem.
You'll never
one
forget
of
it
them.
now. He's
That's
got
right.
the shirt.
Ah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on. What I meant to say is, let's rage on!
That's better. Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And we'll watch it if it played anywhere in the world in a cinema and is not a movie made for children. Now, it can be childish, but not made specifically for children to enjoy. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or superhero movie planned?
Ugh, I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
There's always a Liam Neeson movie planned. He's got a new one coming out.
Fuck me now.
Another action movie.
Yeah. He's got a terrible one out on Amazon right now, too. What's your point?
I don't like Liam Neeson.
You've made it clear.
He doesn't.
I don't like Ben Affleck.
He doesn't have a curve. So what do you think of that?
Exactly.
Ben Affleck had a curve. Everything would be a rage because he's so awesome.
Will he predict the age or will he predict the mundo? Will he tell us all what we thought about the movies we saw this week? What would the amazing Murman predict? What would the amazing Murman predict? Merman, swimming your way.
Okay.
Merman
We saw two movies,
predicts.
It's true.
Merman predicts.
both involving the same.
It's all about the pussy.
Thank you. I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, it is.
The first one
Yes.
was a medical drama.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, it wasn't. This
It had some
was,
medical drama
I
in
don't know if it was real or if this was all made up or there are actually women who suffer from this.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
a
it's a real.
thing.
The director and writer.
I've
actually
honestly
did.
never heard of it.
it.
But I will say Emily Hampshire is in it.
There you go.
And as far as I can tell, I love Emily Hampshire, but
Really?
she only makes movies about sex.
Isn't that
Every
nice?
movie I've seen her in has something to do with sex, whether it's couples or there was one with an orgy.
I like orgies.
It's like every movie. One was My Awkward Sexual Adventure. It's like those are the movies she excels at. So I knew it probably would have been good.
Okay.
But
Oh,
just, I don't know, the
okay.
subject matter I think would have been a little weird for me.
Yeah,
Having
but what do you
said
think
that,
we thought of
I
it?
Yes.
It was so weird and it looked so funny. I think you guys mondoed the hell out of it.
Okay.
Mondo.
Double Mondo.
Huh.
The next one, I think I
Interesting.
may be a little closer on because I'm not sure about that one, but
You're sure about this one?
I think I might be.
Okay.
Argylle,
Argylle.
Yeah.
which I've been excitedly waiting for.
You do know
This
that
is some
Matthew
trailers.
Vaughn is one of my favorite
I
action
realize Matthew Vaughn is your favorites, but I was sitting in the theater with you when we saw it,
Oh.
and I heard some of your comments.
Oh.
So, based on the fact that it's an action movie, that it stars Bryce Dallas Howard, who apparently you have a problem with, but I don't.
What? I do? Is that a spoiler?
And there's a cat in it.
It's a pussy.
I think Jim may not have been able to give it a mondo based on the lead actress. Even though it had Sam Rockwell in it.
It did?
I think he met that one.
Okie dokie.
Bryce, on the other hand, absolutely hates this kind of movie.
Oh.
He doesn't like Matthew Vaughn. He's made that clear.
Very clear.
Have I made that clear?
Yes,
Super
you
clear.
have.
Like every
So
movie.
I think, even though John Cena was in this,
yeah.
I think he probably raged about it.
Matthew
Okay.
Vaughn is the biggest hack in the history of cinema. This guy needs to stop making movies.
I have more to talk about that shortly,
There you go.
but not what you just said.
I may or may not be right about those ones.
That's
too.
right. Yeah. But you know what?
I
But
think-
maybe I liked it.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. You like Bullet Train, which was still a shocker to me.
Bullet Train was excellent.
Yeah, and this is a similar kind
This
of movie.
is nothing like. Are you
Yeah.
freaking kidding me?
But you know what? We're not talking about
Nothing
that
like
pussy.
that.
We're talking about a different
The other
pussy
one.
today.
So you go.
We're talking about fitting in.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah. And this has a bit of a double entendre with the word fitting in,
It does.
right?
Yeah,
Am I
I
right or am I
suppose.
right?
Based on the trailer, I would say yes.
Yeah, it was called something. It was what was it called originally when it was touring the festivals?
I don't know. Something other than fitting in.
Yeah, it was called.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like,
That's it.
it's better than yours. It can teach you, but I have to try. Is that it?
No. Why can't I remember?
I don't know. Is it really that
cares?
important?
It's important.
The biggest
Not
question
important.
is,
This is what it's called now.
No, I need to find
If
out.
they want to go see it, that's what it's called now. It doesn't
Okay,
matter
so
what it's called.
yeah, they
fitting-
can't see it back in.
You
It
can't see
doesn't
it
matter.
at TIFF because it's gone.
I think it was a better title though. They should have went with that.
Whatever.
Okay, let's see what it was.
Okay, everyone, let's just wait for Bryce to
Yeah, let's just
satisfy
wait.
his urges.
Take another 3 hours to do the podcast.
Yeah,
again.
and if you've ever seen him type into a computer,
it takes 3 hours.
Originally, what it toured at the festivals as was Bloody Hell.
That's just gross.
that doesn't really fit the movie.
No, it doesn't.
It's actually not even
the-
anything about the movie, so that makes sense that they changed it. But you know what? It would have driven me to see it. I would have been more excited.
'Cause
maybe.
Exactly.
You would have thought there would be blood
And hell.
and hell.
Well, there's kind of hell.
And maybe
from
demons.
her perspective, maybe.
And there was an extreme lack of blood because
Yeah.
Anyway, time to waste it. Get on with it.
Speaking of that, maybe you should tell us a little about what this movie's about, other than about the pussy.
So fitting in, coming of age story, unlike anything I've seen before, definitely. This was educational, more than entertaining. It dragged a little through the middle. The whole film was basically saved for me with the last scene that took place in the doctor's office. Of course, that's where the film should have ended, and then it just went on and on for another 10 minutes.
7 hours.
So I had to suffer through unnecessary tying up of loose ends that I didn't need tied up. Not a terrible film. I learned a lot about MRKH syndrome, which I had no idea about. So, as I say, from an educational standpoint, it was kind of an interesting film to watch.
Yep.
From an acting standpoint, the lead was very good. What's her name?
I don't know.
Maddie Ziegler.
Yeah, she was great.
I'm not a big fan of Emily Hampshire. Apparently, someone else at this.
I am. She's
Yeah,
awesome.
She was okay.
Well,
She's in
a
like
supporting
every.
character.
You say she's just in sex films. I think she's just in every Canadian. Like she's Captain
Well,
Canada.
she's very
when it
Canadian
comes
too,
to,
as well. Yes.
Well,
he
that-
actually leaned over and said, "Where do I see?" I'm like, she's like Captain Canada. She's like in every independent Canadian film.
She's literally been in like every every year. She's had a film at CIF, like almost every year in the
I
last
don't mind her.
10.
I like her.
I think she's funny.
And I like her.
So I'll probably remember what I learned about our MRKH syndrome, like forever, but I probably won't remember what movie I learned it in because fitting in was just meh. It was just a whole lot of meh. Started out okay, finished okay, so much meh in the middle, and all that tying up of just stupid stuff at the end. She should have had that scene with the doctor at the end of the movie. As soon as that was it, they show a close-up of her face. I'm like, okay, please roll the freaking credits. I knew they weren't going to, but I'm like, please roll the credits. And they didn't, which just, it never was going to be a Mondo. It was going to be a meh regardless, but it would have been a more it would have been a more enthusiastic meh had they ended it when they should have.
All right. Well, as Bryce has kind of already alluded, this is a unique coming-of-age film in that it talks openly about the body in ways that other films may shy away from. The story is basically a young 16-year-old who finds out she does not have a uterus or most of her vagina on the inside. From there, we get a lot of challenges that most young women may have also to overcome. But on top of that, she has this whole biological issue she now is carrying around with her, and it interferes with every relationship she has, including her mom, her best friend, her boyfriend at the time. This film started out as a very powerful take on teen coming-of-age genre. It had some great humor that fit really well into this heavy traumedy type film, is what the director's direct quote for what this film genre is a traumedy. The film shows great characters and relationships, especially between the mom and the daughter. But after about 1/3 into the film, it started into a slump of it being less comical and heartwarming and felt more clinical, to Bryce's point.
That's the only part I liked was the clinical stuff.
And to be honest, it got boring and a bit draggy.
That I agree with.
It was a refreshing look at this type of film. And lead, as we talked about, Maddie Ziegler did a fantastic job. I really liked her.
Yep.
You know, the problem that she has, Murray, is she has to stretch out her vagina like a muscle.
Yeah.
So as a person with a very small penis, I would have loved to have dated a girl like that when I first started dating. But unfortunately, I didn't.
Yeah,
so
with you, it was like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Yeah, or a hot dog down in a warm bucket of water. You know, the whole analogy. It's exactly it.
Yeah.
I didn't find myself a nice girl with, what is it called?
MRKH
syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah. It was mad. It was Merca. It was mad. You know what? This movie,
it was okay.
it just got so draggy and kind of boring. Right? Am I right or am I right?
You are right. There's
And
no question.
And you know what? It was interesting.
Honestly,
to know
it was going down a road, and I was like, And then honestly, I really enjoyed that last. I mentioned it, the last scene in the doctor's office, and I was like, wow.
But that wasn't the last scene.
I know, if they could just end it here. I mean, this would end it on such a wonderful, poignant scene. It was so cool. Like the message that was being given in that scene, like everything was just perfect. And then it just kept on going.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know about you, but like the humor for the first, I say a third, but maybe it was more like a quarter of it.
And it was almost rapid fire for the first third.
It was. Like we were killing ourselves laughing.
There was a lot, and then.
So you're saying all the funny parts were in the trailer?
No,
I don't know.
No, there was a lot more.
Because it looked really funny.
There was a lot more funny parts throughout the whole first portion of the film. Like the first act of the film is very, very funny, but then it got too serious about the condition itself, and then that's where it kind of lost you, because she started dealing with a lot of heavy issues, and it wasn't heavy flow issues, because that was something
issue
she could never have. Yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna make a comedy about it, which the
Maybe
director had full
about
intent,
it.
They should have made it funny all the way through.
They should have
the
made
movie.
it serious all the way through.
Yeah, with just maybe some comedy. Anyway, it's, if you want to know about this syndrome, it's good to know. Why not?
Yeah, as I say, from an educational aspect, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I could never rage about it, because I came out of it probably a better person.
Yeah, I learned a few things, and I liked it. I liked the comedy that was there at the beginning of the movie.
What did you think about the actors on the whole? I thought it was actually a little weak. And I've been so impressed with Canadian cinema, as you know, over the last year.
And I have as well.
And this seemed to take a little step backwards. It wasn't quite up to par with it. And she was great.
Yeah, she was great.
I don't know that everybody else was.
I think
everybody
Emily
else,
Hampshire was
everybody
herself.
else felt very Degrassi Junior High to me.
I would agree.
Don't you be trashing Degrassi.
I would say maybe
I'll send it out
Degrassi
after
High,
you.
not Degrassi Junior High.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely very. I don't know. Maybe that's the type of movie it is. So I you know what? Maybe they did do a good job, but
Were
it's
they
not
trying
a
to be too
genre.
educational?
No, it wasn't about
No.
that. They just weren't. It just it felt very 80s TV to me.
Clinical TV drama. Really.
It was just 80s TV.
That's how I learned all my life lessons, Bryce.
Yeah.
When you come from a
Okay,
broken
well,
home,
look at you now.
Hey, I'm relatively well adjusted considering.
Fair enough.
He's got that going for sure. But yeah, I would agree with you. I think the acting was not strong, except from Maddie and Emily. But everybody was just okay. Like it didn't annoy me.
Except for Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie was tremendous. Emily was pretty good. She was herself. She's what she does always.
She was adequate.
Yeah.
It wasn't her movie.
She's rock solid.
Captain Canada.
She's
It wasn't her
Captain Canada.
movie.
She's
She was a
rock
mother. She's a supporting character.
A pretty big support.
Yeah, she wasn't. It was, about as big a supporting character. Yeah, she is definitely had the second most screen time.
Yep. It was good. It
was
meh.
all right. Yep.
It was
All
meh.
right then.
All right.
I don't even remember. Is that what you predicted?
No, he thought we would love
I thought
it.
you would like it a bit better than that.
Because the comedy...
Because all I
You said
watched is
Mondo
the trailer.
Yes, that's true. He only knows is the trailer.
I watched the 2 minutes.
But that's what you do. You're the amazing
I
merman.
watched the 2 minutes that they want you to see,
He's
which apparently were the best.
Well,
2
you
minutes
have
of
to
the movie.
take that into account when you're making predictions, Amazing Merman.
Whatever.
Hey, you know what? So far this year, he's been pretty damn amazing. That's all I'm going to say. All right, well, let's talk about the other pussy in the room, Argylle. So part of what makes Matthew Vaughn films fun, in my opinion, because Bryce's opinion doesn't matter,
Nope, it
Nothing.
doesn't.
is the wacky and the over-the-top action, which, for the first 10 minutes, this had in spades. It was so over-the-top and fun because it had terribly bad CGI and CGI dumbness and almost making fun of itself level of bad CGI. Plus, we got Cena, Cavill,
Yep.
and the once mesmerizing Sam Rockwell and motherfucking Samuel L. Jackson,
That's
plus the always amazing Bryan Cranston. So the cast we had was all stellar in previous roles that they've been
Catherine
in.
O'Hara.
Yeah, I didn't mention her for a reason. Well, maybe not all the cast. So, yeah, 10 minutes of awesome at the beginning, and then 5 minutes of awesome in a colorful gunfight, plus a couple of chuckles, doesn't make this a typical Matthew Vaughn film for me. Because, as Murray kind of already had alluded to, he also added Bryce Dallas Howard as our lead, who I recently just realized, and that it was an epiphany as I'm watching this film, that I find her so completely repulsive. And when you have to watch her through 2 hours and 20 minutes of basically bloated spy story with basically no real action, and mostly her and Rockwell, who have zero chemistry, try to work their way through this slog of a film. It became a big chore. And I just can't pretend that I kept an interest in this film for as long as I did. And I kept looking at my watch every 5 minutes and wondered, when did this actually time start going backwards in this film? I literally felt I'd look at my watch and I'd be like, okay, but no, the time was going backwards every time they put the scene on. It was just like, it's got more time left? How is this possible? I used to say there wasn't a film Matthew Vaughn made that I didn't like, and that Bryce was an idiot. Well, there are still times, of course, that he's an idiot, but this movie was about an hour too long, and because of that, and because of Bryce Dallas Howard, the worst actor in this movie, This was a rage. I could not stand her on screen for 2 hours and 20 minutes. She was completely repulsive, and so was this movie.
There you go.
All right. Over. Who's next?
I'm going last.
All right.
Okay, then.
I go first or last. Just putting that out there.
If you're not last, you're first. No, if you're not first, you're last.
I don't go in the middle.
90% of the movies you guys watch, I don't go to, so you're gonna have to.
I'm
go
always first
second.
or last. Yeah.
So, this time I just happened to see it because I was looking forward to this.
Yes.
Yes.
I was looking forward
I
to
love the
seeing
cast,
this too.
and the trailer looked absolutely insane.
I
I'm
also
like,
look forward to this.
was probably the only movie I see this whole month. Because
You're going to see a
nothing else-
vampire next week or Frankenstein next week, I'm pretty sure.
Not as interested in that. Just gonna say it. Henry Cavill needs to be the next James Bond. He's played a spy in 4 movies already.
What?
He's British and he's absolutely charming. I don't know what more they need.
Okay.
Okay, Argylle, Matthew Vaughn,
Yeah.
the genius behind Kick-Ass and all the
Yes.
Kingsman films.
Yes.
Genius.
So
Yes,
you know it's gonna be insane.
Yes.
Sam Rockwell, Bryan
Super
Cranston,
genius.
John Cena, Samuel Jackson, Richard E. Grant,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
and yes, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, God.
True, she was the weak link in the cast.
Oh, it was a huge
Not a
leap.
good sign if you're the star.
She's fine.
I know Jim
You're-
doesn't like
you're still
her.
an
I'm
idiot.
assuming Bryce doesn't either.
Well, apparently
You know
she's
they share
fine.
the same name.
I like Bryce Dallas
I
Howard.
happen to disagree. I like her acting. And she's the daughter of my favorite all-time director, Opie Cunningham.
Yes.
I liked her in The Village, Lady in the Water.
Opie Cunningham.
Even the Jurassic World movies. I liked her in those.
Ugh.
That being said, this was not her best work. Now I'm going to bring up the literal elephant in the room.
Oh, literal.
There was an
Her
elephant.
body
There was an
in
elephant?
this film.
Okay.
Though she refuses to talk about it, I find it hard to believe that's her everyday figure. I recently saw her and Bryan Cranston on a British talk show 2 weeks ago, before I even saw the film. She was slim, sexy, and gorgeous in a tight-fitting leather dress. This was 2 weeks ago. So obviously she didn't keep the figure she had in the movie. As far as I know, she didn't have a kid recently. So I'm confused about why she was so heavy in this film.
I think I prefer curvy.
I like
Bryce Dallas
curvy, but
Howard.
it was a little bit too much.
Here's my preference on Bryce
But
Dallas
not
Howard.
that I have a problem with big girls. I'm a little more fluffy myself. It just
Fluffy?
didn't
What
fit.
does that mean?
Didn't fit with her character. It just didn't, and it was very distracting to watch her because she was overweight and trying to do all this martial arts, which she actually does know how to do, by the way.
I don't
Okay, the
understand
movie.
this.
For the most part, this film was insane. Wall-to-wall action. Sam Rockwell is a legend. Bryce actually studied martial arts as a kid, so I'm pretty sure she did most of her own fighting stunts. Unfortunately, there were too many slow moments. And a cat. I don't like cats.
Pussy.
But Catherine O'Hara makes it all right. Despite the leading lady and the feline ridiculousness, it's still a mondo for me.
Oh.
And I learned a new term.
Oh.
Cat pack.
Nice.
I have never seen that before. It looks just absolutely ridiculous, but apparently it's a functioning backpack.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I want a cat.
Do those exist?
I want a.
You can get them. You can buy them. So apparently they do.
I want a pussy pat.
Apparently there's
That's
like
fully
there's-
enclosed
Yeah, there's
and-
air holes and there's a little bench for them to sit on and the whole thing. Like I don't
Huh.
know. I looked it up. They actually exist.
Maybe they have a dog one too, Bryce.
Who knows?
Yours might be
that
an-
would not
Anyway.
work out.
You'll need a big.
Was it a
bigger one?
fabulous movie? No, but I enjoyed the action and Henry
Nice.
Cavill, so I gave it a mondo.
There you go.
Whoa, you said all those negative things and it's still a mondo?
It's still a mondo
Because
Oh man.
Henry Cavill.
because I'm not as harsh as
you
you
are well, yeah, but we've had this brand new Murray that's like
and
totally
I like
negative.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
I
Yeah, what
liked
happened
it.
to the- what happened to the whole
like
negative
you're
Murray?
like raging and now all of a sudden it's like, well, this movie isn't that good, but it's mondo.
He likes Henry Cavill.
That's right.
And what's her name?
Bryce
Dallas
Howard.
powered Bryce.
And the other one.
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara.
Canada's
was
own
terrible.
Catherine
Yeah.
O'Hara. Are you kidding me?
I'm agreeing with
Yeah,
Bryce on this one.
She was terrible in this. I love Catherine O'Hara, but
But you know,
she was not.
But
good
you know
in
what also was disappointing in this?
What's that?
Is that Samuel L. Jackson in this movie?
Oh, so
Not
he
once
didn't
did he
say
say
that
motherfucker.
once.
He
That's
didn't
right.
say it once.
He did not.
He
He was PG, Sam.
This whole cast was wasted. I don't get Matthew Vaughn films. He's all style and zero substance. The characters in his films are thinner than rice paper. He takes good actors and puts them in nothing roles, which is just frustrating. Example, Samuel L. Jackson. Example, Bryan Cranston. Example, like everybody in this film. I have no problem with a silly film that is entertaining, but Vaughn makes forgettable tripe that has at no point gets within shouting distance of entertaining. In this latest pile of turd from Vaughn, the cast does its best, but there is no actor on the planet that can make this screenplay resemble a cohesive movie that makes any sense. The writing sucked. The special effects were terrible. I guess they were played for laughs, maybe. That's the only thing I can... and you tend to allude to that. I mean, the funniest thing in the film was how awful the CGI cat looked. I mean, if that's the entertaining part of your film is the terrible CGI cat, you've got a freaking problem. At one point, someone was holding it on screen, but it looked as though it was actually floating as opposed to being held. It was stupid. It wasn't funny. It was just bad. Matthew Vaughn is a hack, and Argylle is the worst film of 2024 thus far. It is a rage. I would be hard-pressed to... I cannot imagine a worse film coming out this year. This is the worst film I've seen in, like,
just
years.
Should I bring up a list of all the sequels that are coming out this year?
Do you remember all the lists Murray gave us a couple weeks ago?
Garfield 2?
Yeah, Garfield 2 is going to make this look like...
Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
Yeah, they're going to be fantastic compared to this garbage.
I don't know.
Sign me up for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I don't want to watch any more Matthew Vaughn. He's terrible. The guy is awful. He needs to stop making movies.
And I would say he needs to stop making this movie, but I love every other Matthew Vaughn movie.
Garbage.
They're all great, except this
They
one.
are. I like this one.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I
the thing
enjoyed
that's
it.
the thing that's great about this is we got so much pussy in this movie podcast
There was a
review.
lot.
So much.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You two
I
done.
don't even have anything to unpack on this. Like I really
It's just
did not.
stupid.
done.
I
mean, you
really-
could sit there and pick apart the whole bloody thing. Let's look at the stupid scene where she just shoves knives on her feet and starts skating in oil.
That was awesome. I love that.
Oh my- and it all looks
awesome.
It all looks so bad.
Of course it did. It
But
was
the thing
awesome.
is, every now and then he'd have a special effect that looked good, and then you're like, well, what? Are we making fun? Are we not making fun? Are we just not good at this? Like, I don't even understand. Some of it looked good, some of it looked atrocious, and there was never any in between.
I do have to agree. But the whole first 10 minutes to me was hilarious because we're
It
watching
got off
it.
to a
That's 'cause-
decent start.
that's 'cause
I
you
honestly
had-
thought after 10 minutes, I might not hate this.
That's because you had Henry
then
Cavill and John Cena.
But then the scene in the train started, and then everything just snowballed into
the problem is they should have
more
stuck
and more
with Cavill
crap.
and Cena.
It rolled down a hill of crap, and by the time it gained so much
Whatever.
momentum, there was a big ball of crap when it ended.
Did anybody, as you were watching the first scene where she's going down the hill, zigzagging down, did anybody else think of Tron when they were watching?
Yeah, that's exactly what
exactly
I
what I
thought.
was
Which was
thinking.
funny.
That was
yeah.
totally hilarious because I'm like, this is literally we're watching Tron, but
Yeah.
but Tron's special effects were better.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this was a miss
Yeah,
for me.
and to your point, there is nothing to unpack in this because
there's-
this movie is nothing.
Well, no, there is one thing I have to agree with you, and obviously, well, Murray's got two loves. Well, maybe unless he's in love with Bryce Dallas Howard,
Love with her,
but that everybody in this was wasted. Like the acting in
Oh,
it was so
so
wasted.
wasted.
Bryan Cranston was almost annoying. I've
Yeah.
never seen him be so annoying.
Yeah. It's just, they got nothing to work with here. Like, have you ever seen Samuel L. Jackson in a movie where his character was this underdeveloped? I mean, you've got Samuel L. Jackson, and this is what you write him? Like, That just makes me angry right there.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You've got Sam Jackson, and it's nothing. You're sitting there watching him watch sports. That's the most interesting thing he does is sit on the couch and watch sports. Oh my God.
It's true.
What a waste.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay, now
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
It's because even all of other Matthew Vaughn's movies, he had to be in this one.
Yeah. There you go. He should have just said
It's
no.
like what's her name? The keeper of the secrets woman. She was in Kingsman too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the hell her name is, but
I
whatever.
don't care.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
These
Well, I'm glad.
I don't get out much.
pretzels
But
are
you know what?
making me
I
thirsty.
did enjoy going to the movies with my Mur.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, but this movie made me painfully sad.
Poo.
I had fun.
Thanks. Please don't tell me this is Bryce Dallas Howard's list of your favorite movies that she's done.
No, but I almost did that Matthew Vaughn.
Okay, well that
Almost.
would have been okay with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I
talk
kind of wish you did that
football.
too. Football.
Football.
Okay.
Football
As
movies?
most sports fans know,
Oh, there's
Mhm.
something
this
super
weekend
happening
is a
this
big
weekend.
game.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl.
In America, anyway, it's often more about the halftime show and the commercials.
Yeah, I have no idea who's in the halftime show.
Unfortunately, thanks to the CRTC, we Canadians only get the actual game.
Yeah.
No, who cares? That's all I want to watch.
Unfortunately for me, this year involves a team I've literally hated for more than 30 years.
Who's
Before there was a Tom Brady and a
Uh-huh.
Bill Belichick
Mhm.
and New England Patriots, there were the goddamn 49ers.
that? Neeners.
I have hated them since the 80s, and I will never stop hating
come
them.
on. Such good stories going into this one. Mr.
I
Irrelevant.
absolutely cannot watch them play. I cannot watch a
got
game.
the-
I cannot watch a game they're in. I attempted to watch the playoff games. Both games I watched, they were fucking losing.
How can you
And they came back and won. They pissed me off 2 weeks in a row.
cheer against the last pick in the NFL
I don't
draft,
care about
starting quarterback in
Brock
the
goddamn
Super
Purdy.
Bowl? That's huge.
What I care about is the team from San Francisco, which I've hated for 30 some years. I hope they never win another championship. Anyway, so if anybody out there is like me, there are always football movies.
Oh,
Yes, there is.
Because in
we got
Hollywood-
to the movie part.
And
of it.
you knew I wasn't going to just talk sports.
thank
That's not what
God.
we do.
I'm like, what is a football?
Because in Hollywood, the right team always wins.
Does it?
No.
I don't
There's
necessarily
a Rocky 1 or 2 ending.
like
Murray.
all of the movies on this list, but most people agree they are the champions.
Okay, I'm gonna heckle along here.
You do that.
'Cause you
I
know
know
my-
you would.
My hatred of sports films.
These are in no particular order.
Okay.
Remember the Titans from
Hated that movie.
2000.
Boo.
Movie about a high school football team, basically the true story.
All right.
No, that is incorrect.
Oh, that's We Are Marshall.
This is the true story of Herman
This is,
Boone. He's a black football
yeah,
coach
this is Denzel.
who has to integrate 1971 high school team made up of white and black
Are we going to talk about We Are Marshall
The
too?
cast includes
Then I can do the all right.
Denzel Washington, Donald Faison, Hayden Panettiere, Ryan Gosling,
The Gauze.
and Will Patton.
Yeah, I
Who
know
doesn't love
them.
Will Patton?
Yeah, Remember the Titans actually was okay.
There you go.
I'm going to backtrack.
And
I thought it was a different movie.
And yes, here comes
All right.
We Are Marshall. Another sports movie based on a true story.
I'm gonna also
Matthew
say
McConaughey.
This drama chronicles the aftermath of a plane crash
Yes.
that killed 75 people
It
from
did.
Marshall
Did they eat each
University's
other?
football.
And
they
it
eat each
created a
other? No.
terrible movie.
It killed most of its players, the coaching staff, boosters, and trainers.
It's very
So nobody
unfortunate.
ate
So
anybody.
the university wants to cancel the program, but a new coach,
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey,
All right,
Matthew
all right, all right.
McConaughey.
want and some of the players, they basically
Like, we want to
want
play
them
for our
to
fallen
play for our pride.
brethren.
There you go. It stars Matthew McConaughey, David Strathairn, and Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, it's got a good cast.
Next up, The Waterboy.
Yes! That's a classic.
Because I can't
Foosball.
stand Adam Sandler, I will never watch this film.
What? It's got Kathy Bates in her
But
best role ever.
I've been told it's good.
I would say it.
Hey,
Kathy Bates is
it's
good.
got the Fonz, Henry Winkler.
Yes,
in it.
and he's so good in it.
So there's that.
It's the best.
This is the story of the
It's the
socially awkward
best movie about football
31-year-old Bobby Boucher,
Bobby Boucher.
whose greatest strength is doling out hydration to college football players.
Yes.
That is, until he's had enough of being bullied and he snaps, discovers he has a talent for sacking quarterbacks.
Yes.
Suddenly a rising defensive star,
Can't miss
he
concept.
has to stand up to his ultra-religious mother, Kathy Bates,
She's so good in this.
She is good.
fight for the right to party and play football.
I don't
Yeah,
know about that.
If you
Just
like
like
Adam Sandler,
thing, but-
yeah, sure. Not
Yeah,
my
and
thing.
if you don't like Adam Sandler like me, then Kathy Bates is a reason to see
There
this
you go.
movie.
Henry Winkler would be the only reason I'd see it.
Henry Winkler's so
The
funny in
only
it.
reason.
He's awesome. in it.
Next up, we have Draft Day.
Didn't hate it as much as I
One
thought I
thing
would.
Kevin Costner does well is sports movies.
Does he?
Field of
Yeah.
Dreams, Tin
Oh,
Cup,
I agree
For Love
with
of the
Murph.
Game, Bull Durham,
Bull Durham, yeah.
and his only football movie, Draft Day.
They're all
Yep.
terrible.
I'm on Team Murr
In
this
this one,
time.
he plays the general manager of the Cleveland Browns
Yes.
on his most important day, the NFL Draft. After
Hence the
acquiring
name
the
Draft
number
Day.
one pick, he spends the day wheeling and dealing.
A lot of wheeling and dealing in this
Ellen,
movie.
Ellen Burstyn
It's boring.
Yes.
plays his recently widowed mother.
Uh-huh.
Jennifer Garner plays his pregnant girlfriend, who also works for him.
That part of the story I
Frank
didn't need.
Langella is the team owner.
He was excellent.
Dennis Leary is the coach.
He is okay.
Chadwick Boseman is one of the young players.
He was very good.
Yes, it's an exaggerated account of the NFL selection process, but it's still entertaining.
It was fun.
It's gross.
Next up, we have School Ties.
Oh, what?
1992. Despite the fact this film has, as Bryce so often insists,
Yeah.
the greatest actor of our generation.
No, the
Ben
greatest actor
Affleck.
of ours or anybody else's
Whatever.
generation.
Anyway,
Give him his due, Murr.
I will never. Ben Affleck and his sidekick Matt Damon.
I think, Murray, what you meant to say is his doo-doo.
Yeah, as I said, as Bryce insists.
There
As
was
one
football
man's
in this
opinion-
movie?
Yes, there was football. Matt Damon's in it, who
Are
plays a
you
real
sure?
asshole. It is actually a really good film. Stars Brendan Fraser as a star quarterback who has to hide the fact that he's Jewish from his teammates at a 1950s prep school.
Well, couldn't they see when they took a shower with him? His wiener's clipped.
Well, just look at his nose.
You know, I don't think he actually is, so whatever. Anyway, it's truly one of Fraser's best films, despite Affleck and Damon.
And he was circumcised for the film.
Sure.
Did he
Should've won an
get
Oscar just for that.
circumcised for the film? Is that true?
Was that the director? I don't know.
How many football movies have you seen that all
Method,
have people
baby.
shower?
Method.
I don't think there was a shower scene, or else he showered somewhere else. But whatever.
Yeah.
It was a good movie, except for Ben Affleck.
I actually don't. I
remember
barely remember the
It was
movie.
good.
I mean, I saw it in the theater,
It was
but
good.
I don't know. Was it?
Basically, they find out he's Jewish, and
watch it again.
they start, the
Or until I
anti-Semitism
remember it.
stuff, and then eventually they
Yeah.
blame him for cheating when it wasn't him.
There's like no football in it though.
There is. He's a football player in the 50s.
I understand he
And
is,
he
but
takes
there's
a
like
shower in the movie, I'm
I mean,
sure.
There
If-
are scenes where he's playing
so-
football.
then let's say it was Fast Times at Ridgemont High a football movie then because Forrest Whitaker was like the star football player
That's
in
like
that.
one scene.
yeah, this is a movie
Yeah,
about football players, Bryce.
Yes, he's
It
an
makes it
actual-
a football
it's
movie.
about
Forrest
the
Whitaker
football
was a
team.
football player in
Oh
Fast
my
Times
God.
at
Yeah, but
Ridgemont
he
High.
was a small character.
You're literally...
Brendan Fraser is literally the star of the film, and he's a football player.
Yeah,
Whatever. Anyway,
it's about football players.
next up, The Longest Yard.
Which one?
Forget Adam Sandler, Chris Rock version. That
Exactly.
was garbage.
Can we forget them both?
This was one of Burt Reynolds' best films.
What?
He stars as a former NFL player who was kicked out of the league for shaving points and thrown into prison for stealing his girlfriend's car and leading the police on a drunken chase. Doesn't get any better than that. Now stuck behind bars, he assembles a team of prisoners to face off against the guards in an exhibition game, and they use some real NFL players.
Isn't Lurch in that one? Or
it's
no,
possible.
Jaws is in that.
It's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he
they
is.
had a lot of big guys
Yeah,
in there.
He was in it.
He was
Anyway,
the best
it's
thing
a
in
good
it.
movie.
Was he?
Yeah.
Alright.
Next up, Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, it's Pat. It's
Oliver Stone's football film on the fictional Miami Sharks. Al Pacino as an aging coach trying to hold his team together while battling an aggressive owner played by Cameron Diaz. Also starring Dennis Quaid and Jamie Foxx.
It's terrible.
The movie offers a gritty yet grounded look at professional sports.
Does it?
I saw it recently. I liked it.
Okay.
Hey, didn't Burt Reynolds play football in real life
Yes.
at some point?
Yes, he did.
Huh.
He was actually drafted by the Baltimore Colts.
So
but
he wasn't
never-
acting, is what I'm
No,
hearing.
he actually played football.
Did you know that Tom Brady, who starred in that Tom
80 for
Brady
Brady?
movie that he produced?
the
80 for
80 for
Brady?
Brady, that Tom Brady, he also played football
Yeah, he also produced
in
the movie.
real life
Just
and
saying.
played it in the movie.
Well, this comes back to those Boston boys for you. I don't know what the hell your problem is.
he's
Next
not
up, yes, he's played.
How many more of these is there? This
I've
is
got
like
two.
800.
Hey, I'm allowed to talk.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
And no list about football movies would be complete without Rudy. 1993, starring Sean Astin. This movie follows a young man who is determined to play football for Notre Dame, in spite of his small size, poor grades, and lack of his athletic abilities. Kind of like me. If you like cheering for the little guy, this definitely the movie for you. And it was based on a real story. Finally,
Yes.
I have to mention my all-time favorite,
Keanu Reeves.
starring Jim's man crush, Keanu Reeves. Of
Oh,
course,
not the
it's
Replacements.
That's the Replacements.
Yes.
In case you haven't seen it, it's the fictional story of the actual NFL players' strike, where the teams had to go with replacement players.
What?
Gene Hackman, Keanu Reeves,
Hackman.
Orlando Jones, John Favreau, and my favorite Welshman, Rhys Ifans, or whatever how I pronounce his name, as a degenerate gambler, chain-smoking kicker. He's smoking on the field. And yes, the good guys win this one too.
What about
Play ball.
What about Unnecessary Roughness, starring Kathy Ireland?
That one was also good.
Well, why didn't you talk about it?
So
Because
he's got a limit.
Didn't that have Scott Bakula in it?
Yes, I don't have 20 minutes.
I thought you loved Scott Bakula.
He's all right.
Oh, you don't love him? He's a TV guy.
You know,
I thought you'd love him.
here's-
I could have mentioned Little Giants too. I didn't mention that one.
You
That
could
was
have.
Rick Moranis.
Yes. You're missing all the gold, man.
Anyway,
Okay, here's the thing. Football movies are terrible, and they haven't made a good one yet. So this
I would
is,
still rather watch any of these
Hey.
instead of the 49ers because I know they're going to win.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And I hate them.
Neeners. Yeah, but they don't have Patrick Mahomes.
Whatever. They don't have Taylor Swift either
What the heck does that mean?
Temperature rising.
because she's awesome.
Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Taylor Swift doesn't play football.
How do you know?
How do you know?
You don't know nothing.
You don't know.
No, well, she might play football. She doesn't play professional football. That I know.
Maybe she'd be the kicker like Kathy Ireland.
No.
Maybe.
Just
You know
saying.
you know what makes me rage? You too. Shut the fuck up. All right. So my rage this week comes from, again, Cineplex and the douchebag that works there. And I know he probably isn't listening to our podcast because he's a moron.
I think he's related to the manager too.
Possibly. He's just a complete idiot. We're in the movie theater watching our movie, and this douchebag comes in and out of our theater like 5 times, doing God knows what. Every 5 minutes,
Yep.
we're trying to watch the movie, and the door opens, and then crumble, crumble, box, box, bang, bang, crash, crash, and then goes back outside, and then 5 minutes later, just like clockwork, this fuck nugget decides that he's gonna do the exact same thing again. And I just about completely lost my shit because I'm like, we're trying to watch this movie here about vaginas. Get out of here. And needless to say, he finally stopped. So that was my rage.
Well, that's because he has nothing else to do. You're literally the only 2 people in the entire building, and he's about to he loses his job in about 6
Yeah,
weeks.
so he's going to lose his face next time he does that because Bryce and I are going to turn
So yell
around
at him.
and swat him.
You're the customer.
Yeah.
You can yell at him. You're
you know,
allowed to.
don't you remember the last time I yelled at him and the whole staff the one time? And that didn't get me anywhere either.
No.
So
Feels good,
Cineplex, quit being dicks.
Yeah, well, they'll be gone soon.
Yeah.
All of them. Looking for other work.
Well, that's sad.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it is.
They wouldn't hire
People
me.
losing their jobs.
They wouldn't hire me. So
Well,
screw
what's
'em
good
all.
is it going to do you? Are you going to be out of a job?
I only needed a job for the winter. That's all they had to do, but they couldn't even do that. So to hell with them.
Is this,
Oh, my.
Sorry, is this my rage still?
Oh, you were done. I disagree with you.
I don't really know what my rage is. I mean, an easy thing would be Matthew Vaughn. He's a hack. He's got to stop. Just stop. I think what my rage is, though, is it's inconsistent pricing that I'm getting from Landmark right now, where when I go to the more premium seats, there's only like $1 difference between it and the...
You don't have a cohesive sentence going on here.
Okay.
All our listeners have no fucking clue what you're talking
I get
about.
what he's saying.
Basically, when you buy premium seats, I think they're like $25 or something. When you're part of the Cine Club, you're supposed to get a discount. Usually, it's $5. The $14.99 seats are $9.99.
Yep.
If you're going into something that's $18.99, you get about $5 off. It's $13.99. So when I buy a $24.99 seat, it should be $19.99. But instead of saving $5, it's like $1 less, and it makes no sense.
People who sit in premium seats can afford to pay the money.
Apparently.
That's what the story is.
And
there.
here's...
Don't judge me because I like to be comfortable, Jim.
Whatever.
I'm comfortable on anything.
I
except
need
for-
my coat hanger so I don't have to
Coat hanger.
put the coat under like in my back or sit on it.
And your personal VIP service that brings you drinks to your seat.
I'm sorry. When you were at the movies this weekend,
I need
where's
my
all the other
extra
seats-
wide seats.
Were all the
Those seats
seats
taken?
around you taken? You didn't have space to put your jacket down? Were you at a sold-out show of Argylle?
I don't want my
back to back.
I need to keep my coat nice and flat and pressed, and I can't be crumpling it up and just throwing it willy-nilly on a chair, Jim.
So lay it down nicely then.
You mean your hoodie?
Your hoodie.
Yes.
Your different version of metal hoodie?
At any rate, I don't understand the inconsistency in that pricing, and I really should be reaching out to them at some point because this is something that hasn't gone away.
I have to kind of...
You
It
know,
makes no sense.
What I find with Cineplex these days is when you reach out to them about anything, they go, "Oh, you don't like that? Too fucking bad. You don't have
Yeah,
much
but
of a choice."
this is actually Landmark.
Oh, well, Landmark
Yeah,
does kind of care.
Cineplex doesn't have more
And
premium
as
seats.
Jim pointed out to me in the car when we were done, we were at the cinema. We were leaving. It won't be long before Cineplex buys out Landmark,
Yeah,
and there'll be
probably.
one theater company left.
That's right.
Then you just watch them jack up the prices.
Yep.
Then no one will go to movies.
Nobody's going to
Nobody's
movies
going
now.
now.
No, they'll be even less if you start paying $30 a ticket.
Here's
Well,
the thing. I think-
the only people there are me and Jim, so we're still going to be there, so it can't be any less.
No, they need to offer discounts to get people back in the seats, and they're not doing it. So
Yeah, you know, here's my prediction. If the cinemas last another year, I would consider myself lucky. Except for festivals. That's my prediction.
well, I think stuff like big movies, like the superhero movies and Christopher Nolan type films, the ones that are in IMAX and those big ones will probably still be around.
Yeah, but if they can't pay for their bills 12 months of the year.
Yeah, then it's not going
And they're going to be shutting down half the week. They're going to be only open on the weekends and Tuesdays.
Yeah, maybe.
Tuesdays will
can't
probably
pay
go away
their
too because
bills with
they
that.
don't want to offer a deal on Tuesday anymore.
all these cinemas that are having like limited screenings and everything, they're going to be gone. Crowfoot gone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are, we're going to be down to Chinook and the two big landmark ones, and
That's
that's
it.
about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Chinook is a crappy one anyway. It's one of the older ones. They need to do renovations there, but they won't.
No, like, we're not making enough money to do
The seats
renovations.
suck. That's why I hate going there.
They're doing okay there though. If you go there on a Friday or Saturday night, it's
Well, even
pretty
on a
packed.
Monday, there's sometimes people there.
Sometimes.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
All
not.
right.
I don't know what you're going to do when No Clark closes.
So apparently this week we were mad at both our
all
cinemas. That's right. All cinemas, except for the Plaza and CMC,
But she didn't go.
our
to.
sponsor.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. finger fading.
Oh, the lists. So, for those of you first listening to us, if this is your first time
we're
doing the
watching a
Rage.
movie.
Supposed to watch a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
I did.
Oh, yeah,
I
perfect.
just forgot.
Yeah, because we did a lot this week, but
Yeah.
no one would know because we had a lot of IT issues that we had to fix for today.
What's IT?
And we got it fixed.
The movie It?
Computer stuff.
Computer stuff. So, for those listening to us for the first time, go to our website, filmrageyyc.com. Look at our lists page. You will find 5 lists. We have the mesmerizing, the repulsive, the doubted, and the undoubted. And we also have a 5th list, which was people who were once mesmerizing, but got taken out by someone who is more mesmerizing. So, we've been slowly working our way, trying to take out people off the mesmerized list. And this week, we were charged by the Mur to watch Mystery Men, which was Geoffrey Rush versus William H. Macy.
Oh, yeah, it was Mystery Men. I was
That's
thinking,
right.
didn't we already do the Jurassic Park one with Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah.
That was the week before.
And then,
And,
and then Peter Stormare got punted
and Peter Stormare?
by Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's I'm
But
breaking
it
this
was
down for you.
Mystery Men.
That's
yes.
right.
I did. I watched
So
that.
here's the breakdown from Mystery Men. Okay.
Yeah.
So see if you can follow me here.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the breakdown.
Okay, break it down.
Jennifer Lewis takes out Wes Studi. Greg Kinnear takes out Kel Mitchell. Paul Rubens takes out Janine Garofalo. Tom Waits takes out Ben Stiller. Hank Azaria takes out William H. Macy. And Geoffrey Rush takes out everybody. That's my take.
Okay. I will also go with Geoffrey Rush. That's my take.
You didn't agree with who took out who? Come on, think about it.
I don't know. I don't think I 100% agreed with you. Although I was awfully close to getting rid of everybody because I was almost on Team Paul Rubens to just take out everybody. But then I'm like, nah,
Geoffrey
Jeffrey
Rush
Rush
was too
edges
good.
him out. Yeah.
You most definitely can bring the brewskis.
Yeah.
He was so
Yeah.
good in this. And his finger when he's battling.
Yeah,
When
no,
he's battling.
he was good.
This is my absolute favorite superhero movie. I fucking love this movie. To me, I know you don't think it's that funny, but
it's okay.
it's one that I go back to all the time because the characters are so pronounced. Greg Kinnear is such a dick.
I hope I don't have
And-
to watch it again.
Oh, I want to watch it again. I may watch this tonight when I go home.
Yeah, it's not horrible, but it's.
I don't know. Why don't you tell
I've-
me?
I've now watched it 3 times, and that's 2 times too many.
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
I don't even know what that's referencing.
That's like Janine Garofalo through the whole movie. I don't know. Why don't
why'd
you
you
tell
tell
me?
me?
Why don't I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
Yes, that was so funny.
Yeah. Haha. Tee hee. I loved it. Mur, do you
Yeah.
remember the Mystery Men?
Never saw it.
Oh well, you're missing out.
You're really not.
All right, so we
It's
lost.
okay.
We lost William H. Macy, unfortunately.
It happens.
And you know what?
Honestly, William
was
H.
about to-
Macy's
it was-
on borrowed time. I mean, he barely make the mesmerized list, if I was to be completely honest. Based on maybe 3 roles, we're like, yeah, he's mesmerizing. It was like, wait, is he really?
He's usually solid. When
He's pretty solid.
He's completely
but
solid.
He's always solid, but
But
Yeah,
he
was-
has a
he was-
tendency to be William H. Macy sometimes
Yeah.
in his movies.
love
Like,
him. I
and-
absolutely adore
Yeah.
William H. Macy,
Yeah.
but
You know
come on.
what? You know what I think of William H. Macy? He's just an older version of Jesse Plemons.
I don't know that I agree. I think Jesse
that's
Plemons has more range.
Actually,
than
kind
William
of
H. Macy.
funny because they're both in Fargo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. We did have to watch Fargo.
Ow!
I didn't do it.
He got a cramp.
got a cramp.
He's cramping.
I'm way over here. I didn't touch you.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I was gonna come up with a Fargo showdown, but
Son of
We've
a
already
biscuit.
we've already watched Fargo because we couldn't decide. That was
Yeah,
the
I
problem.
couldn't.
with it.
Well, no, most of them are gone anyway. So
Yeah.
Oh, there
there's
you
almost
go.
no
Yeah.
one left.
So you know what? We may hold off on that because we're gonna have a pretty big episode next week.
Yeah,
but,
I
but
gotta redo this list
one-
because pretty much everything's crossed off.
Yep. One thing that we did do though, Bryce and I over the last week, we did get to see a movie called Kanata,
Okay.
Yes, we did.
which is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Because I have maybe unfortunate news for Yorgos fans, because
Wasn't great?
he does not consider his first movie that he co-directed as part of his vision. So we can't include that.
And we can't find it anyways.
Yeah, and we can't find it anyway. So
That's fair.
Just for people's purposes. So
We've only got 7, but that depends. If either of us raged this one,
so
then
this
it's all
was
over.
definitely not a rage.
It was definitely not a rage.
It wasn't a Mondo for me.
It was meh.
It was meh for me also.
There was some really good stuff
Yes.
in it. And there was some really...
Camera work was a little...
It was shaky.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just like-
sometimes, and I believe it was intentionally shaky at some
But it
points,
was just
but
annoying.
it was just... It got to be a little annoying, but there was enough there, and there were some characters in there that I'm going to remember forever.
Yeah, the
and
character development was great.
So
But
it was very good.
So, Yorgos has nothing to worry about unless he makes... I can't see him making anything but Mondo because he hasn't not made something that's Mondo for his last 6.
Even if his next one's a meh, he's on the undoubted list.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And he's got a new one coming out soon, so...
Soon.
Yeah, I think it's in the end of this year or beginning of next year.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I know he took a long time between...
I do believe he's making another one with Emma Stone.
Yeah,
She mentioned that in an interview once.
yeah.
Okay.
It's in post-production right now.
Yeah,
so-
they're shooting it, just hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
this year, I don't know.
That is exciting.
Yeah. So, get ready for more Yorgos this year, hopefully.
There you
All right, so we're going to hold off because Murray's got to go through the list and clean it up. And maybe we charge Murray to find us a repulsive off because that is the biggest
I don't
challenge
even know
we
how
have.
that works. It's all repulsive already. I don't know how they get any
Yeah,
worse.
but someone's going to be
No,
more
but
repulsive.
who's more repulsive, and then the other one gets a reprieve. They're no longer on the repulsive
They're not
list.
as repulsive as the other
Sure.
person. So
Okay, whatever.
it's basically the reverse of the mesmerize off. If you can find us a repulsive off, I would be super happy.
Yeah, well,
Just putting that out there.
sure.
Nice.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce was overwhelmed by how many girls there could actually be in one movie when he found out he would be watching the film 100 Girls. This week, Jim can choose to rage or dare without any worry about copious amounts of girls. Now let's check in with Bryce and see how many girls are actually too many when you're forced to watch them in a teen romance film, especially with his favorite love interest, Katherine Heigl. Come on, Bryce.
All right, 100 girls. Huh.
Was there 100 girls?
nothing?
Like, can you not tell us?
There was 100 girls. Well, that's the concept of the movie. So basically, here's the movie. Matt has like relations with some chick in an elevator in a girl's dorm during a
Okay.
power outage,
This sounds good.
and never sees her face
What?
because it's a power outage, and she comes in like with like a laundry basket, and it's like really high, and so he can't see her face.
Oh.
And then the power goes out,
So-
and then they have a enthralling conversation for about 12 seconds, and then for some reason they start doing it.
So with the laundry basket over her face?
No, now it's not over her face, but it's power outage, so there's no light, so he can't see her.
Oh.
All right.
This sounds confusing.
So when he wakes up in the morning, she's gone.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah, and all that, and all he has to identify her by is her panties.
And Three's Company plot by the sounds of things.
So
And he has to go to 100 girls to find
basically,
who belongs
well,
to?
will Matt find the girl of his dreams in this dorm, which apparently this ended up being the girl of his dreams because he's totally obsessed with this person that he randomly had sex with.
Wow, that sounds realistic.
So he's got to find it in this dorm that has 100 girls residing in it. See, that's where the 100 girls comes in.
Oh.
So it's actually not as bad as you might think,
Sounds terrible.
but it's very, very bad. There are times in it where I'm like, this isn't so bad, but it's got some like, it's trying hard a lot of the time and just not quite getting there. Like it's got his buddy James DeBello is trying to make his wiener bigger by like hanging weights off of it the entire movie. So
Been there.
He's walking around with like boxer shorts on with these like 10-pound weights hanging off his wiener, and then he's adding pounds. I think he gets it up to like 20 pounds by the end of but then he like injures his wiener or something. I don't know.
That sounds hilarious.
It's not as funny as it sounds.
It doesn't sound funny.
It's not as funny as it sounds.
There's Katherine Heigl in it.
Katherine Heigl. Here's what I'm going to say about Katherine Heigl in this. This is the least annoying that she's ever been in any movie I've ever seen.
What?
She was fine. I actually liked her character in it. She gets a pass.
What?
There you go. Jamie Presley. She's always good. She was fine in this too. And that's the thing about this movie is everybody was fine in it. Like I had no problem with any of them. The writing was just kind of weak at times. It wasn't too funny, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't a terrible.
It had Giovanni Ribisi's sister in it, which I didn't know she existed.
How's that?
Marissa Ribisi, and I'm not 100% sure that it's his sister. But boy, she looks like him. So
And they have the same last name.
And I'm gonna put 2 and 2 together. I didn't hate this, Jim. I know you wanted me to, but it wasn't. It was a waste of time. So if you were looking to waste my 90 minutes of my life, you definitely did that. But did I come out of it angry? No, I was just kind of sad that it wasn't better because it as bad as the concept seems, a lot of it had its heart in the right place. From the fact that it was made in 2000, I thought there was going to be a lot more stuff that was going to make me cringe. And there was some, but even that was handled better than most movies of that time. So I'm going to give it a bit of a pass. I mean, it's a rage. I mean, there's no question it's a rage.
Thank God.
But I didn't hate it. I didn't like hate it. I mean, I hated it. But I didn't hate it like Rage or Dare movie rage. This is just a regular, I didn't like this movie rage.
Well, I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah, you didn't make me angry.
I'm going to try harder.
You need to try harder.
All right, well, I'm going to pull from your delicious bag.
Oh, there's not much left.
Isn't that empty?
There's 2.
There's 2.
And they're both equally excellent.
I'm hoping, and I think I've seen this movie.
Excellent.
So, it will be one that, I maybe missed some parts the first time. It is a movie called Beastly.
Beastly.
Starring
Alex
Pettyfer, Vanessa Hudgens, which who doesn't love her? Mary-Kate Olsen. I love Mary-Kate Olsen.
Just one of them?
I've seen all of her
Not
movies.
both of them?
Bryce made me watch all of them before we even got. He even owns it. How is this even possible? Holy crap! How does he? Are you sure this played in theaters?
Yep.
It absolutely played in theaters.
Oh my God!
was back
And the reason I own it is because we were at a place. What was it? The
Used
I'm
record
losing
store?
it. No. It was a. I'm drawing a blank
Thrift
here.
store?
That's what it was.
Value Village?
But
No, it was the thrift store in Canmore.
this is where you got same one as Crossroads.
Yep.
So you've been saving this for a while.
I have.
But you know what?
That's been in my bag for like a year and a half.
I'm gonna love this because it's got Neil Patrick Harris.
It does have Neil Patrick
and I love
Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Well, that's that.
Yeah,
I hope that saves it for you, Jim.
This was back when that.
Have you seen it?
When
I
that
have
guy
seen it.
actually
I
was
saw it in the
relevant.
theater because
Course you
that
did.
was a time when I went to like every single. It didn't matter every single movie because literally every afternoon I would go to the theater and then I'd go play the races.
You know what? The subtext of this is love is never ugly, Murray.
That's right.
Is that true?
Even though he's a beast.
I'm gonna tell you next week.
Well, because you have a guy that good looking and you're trying to make him a beast, it's not happening. But whatever.
Beastly.
At least like
Beastly.
Ron Perlman, you could beast up a little bit. But that guy's too good looking.
He's pretty.
He's pretty.
He's got a pretty mouth. Know what I'm saying?
All right then.
Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks, the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, 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 oh my God, all rage. That's it for this week, Rage on.
I think he forgot his line.
Rage on!